Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we have a team game on this very interesting looking map with lots of different elevation to play with here. It'll be interesting to see what the different players use. As we zoom up here looking at the map, we have Ragnar at the top. As we look at this terrain along the top, it is transversable. This little mountain range with a path that goes down side here, which goes straight to Kel's base on the other side. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone is going to make use of that, as we see Ragnar instantly making use of it already. And who else do we have on each team? Well, good question. Below Ragnar, we have Emery, who is going vehicle, armed vehicle. Under that, we have Iziard, who is bot arm. Under that, Hezrin, Rumcola, Screwish, and on the bottom planes, in the bottom left corner, we have Neptunio, vehicles, and Dave TB, also vehicles. And on the right side, we have the legend that is Flash, who is going bot in the bottom right. Mr. McDonut, who is going hovercraft, which is an interesting idea here. We have Tabesh above them, followed by Trash Panda, Kiyomi, Malady, also pretty good player there. And then right at the north side, we have Rekoa and Kells. Now, Kells has taken the air transport and has built a bot lab on top of the mountain. There is a lot of metal in rocks up here. As you can see, just the rock area here is 1,200. I don't think he realizes as such that you can actually get units up there, which he may be now realizing. And unfortunately, Ragnar loses all of those scouts there to the single air defense. Now, what do we expect to see on this game? So, bots transversing along the top. That's what we expect to begin with. We expect to see mostly vehicles along the bottom half of the map, as that is mostly flat. I expect to see Screwish kind of trying to hold the middle section here, with Tezrin kind of assisting. I expect to see Iziard and Rumcola on the left side being more of a eco player, whereas on the right side I see that more being a Trash Panda going eco. Kind of expecting McDonut and Neptunio in the bottom left hand and right hand side to be playing a support role for Screwish and Dave, rather than ecoing up. But Flash on the bottom right is a very good player, so it'll be interesting to see if he's just going to hold that off and let McDonut do all of the ecoing at the back. So instantly seeing a bit of aggro here coming in, as we see Screwish going to be able to get one of the engineers. We see Malady's commander being transported. Although there are a few grunts there, but with 2 LLTs, he will be fine. Remember, this game has taken place after the comm upgrades, so comms can't degun themselves, or each other rather, and they do not regenerate health anymore, more so than any other unit at least. Gal's been able to hold the north there against Ragnar. Ragnar is moving his comm up there though to contest. Ragnar going for a bit of eco-ish on his side there. And right now, not too much is going on. People are kind of probing each other, seeing where the lines get drawn. And we see Kiyomi's comm a little bit on its own here. There's not really any units to support, and there are a lot of enemy units around him. Trying to get those LLTs up to defend that triple mechs as quick as possible. Now, while we look at mechs points on this map, we see that these middle ones are all 3-point mexes. Quite a lot of metal there. As we look at the base ones, they're all 2.1. So the middle mexes are quite important to take. A lot of resources. And up at the top here we see also 3s and 3.1s, with a Geo being located right at the top. LLTs for Kioma doing a good job here. So when we look at the map layout here, Kioma is the furthest forward with the exception of Kells at the north. With Screwish, Neptunio, Dave pushing Tavish and Flash back, stopping him pushing forward. This does mean that Kioma's a bit exposed there. And as we see that, literally Tezrin has units between him and Malady, stopping any form of reinforcements. However, those are going to get killed very quickly as they get flanked from 3 directions. Yep. And at the south here, we see Dave and Flash going one-on-one. Dave is going to lose that unless he gets in the water. Resbot's on Flash, healing him up. Dave manages to escape. Very close there. Where Dave goes with that comm now is a different story. There is a torpedo defense built though, and if Dave walks into that, that will be a dead Dave for sure. Now, one thing to note on this map, obviously there's a lot of water, and tidal strength is at 22. We see a good raid here from Trash Panda, getting 1 mech, 2 engineers so far. Trying to chase down that grunt, which they do succeed. Going to get some good economy damage here. Doesn't really have anything to stop that. Meanwhile, the rest of the front line is fairly stable. This leak is going to do a lot of damage to that front player, Rumcola. Don't know if they'll get too much deeper. Ooh, looks like they might do. A lot of wind destruction here. A lot of damage going on, which is very unfortunate. Needed the units there to stop this. Unfortunately, I don't know how much more that raid is going to be able to do, but very efficient raid. A lot of damage done there by Trash Panda. Very good job considering he is also a backline player that is aiming to tech up. So, very useful. Now, Dave's comm running away as Flash is chasing him down with his full health comm. Bear in mind, with the changes now, comm explosion is not going to kill him, but Dave is dead, which gives a substantial chunk of metal to Flash to hold that front line. Now, going into the water was good to save him for the meantime, but running into those torpedo defenses meant that there was no escape. Meanwhile, we have a leak of yellow units here. Don't know how far they're gonna get because they're all going uphill. Although they are tanks, so they can push through defenses quite easily. They are getting chased down though, and Dave is deciding not to run them into anywhere substantial, so they'll probably get mopped up pretty quickly as they fall back now as well. Orange units pushing through, as well as these yellow units, so a nice flank going on here. Not many units are reinforcing on the right hand side right now. As we quickly zoom out, we can see there's literally no units coming from the right side to their front line. Whereas the left side is still reinforcing. Ragnar here with a very interesting play, as his commander with a bunch of units here are going to Kell's back line with some gunships to assist. I don't know what exactly he's planning on here. Meanwhile, this force at the back here is getting some damage, but I'm interested to see what Ragnar's doing. A lot of air defense here. I hope he's dropping his commander in time, which he does. And we see the Centurions out with the commander. There is no factory here for him to destroy, but he will get some economy damage, for definite. A very interesting play by Ragnar. These Centurions doing a lot of damage. Has to be careful not to degun his own stuff. Surprisingly, we're not seeing... Oh, that was going. I was about to say, we're not seeing any deguns from Ragnar. Clear it up quicker. There we go. That was Ragnar just wiping out an entire base there. Kel's still at the front line, up the top here, not really doing much. He's now going to push with his 18 pawns. I feel like Ragnar probably has enough LLTs to at least take out a single chunk of that. Ragnar now trying to decide what to do. Going to walk up to that top base. They get some gunships on the go, which is what they're trying to do. They can slow that down, but they have been better building laser towers with their engineers. Meanwhile, on the rest of the front, Malady building a forward air factory. Don't know how much that's going to do. There's a lot of Wolverines coming out from Tezrin here on the left side. I think Malady may have built that just purely to try and stop Ragnar. Unfortunately, it's not really going to do too much at this point. Meanwhile, the issue for Rakoa, now that he doesn't have any base, so he has no metal extractors, so he can't build any units. Now, there is 2 dead comms there as well, which we've missed. We are starting to see Tech 2 out from Trash Panda. Meanwhile, Ragnar has cleared up this base in the north. And has completely isolated Kells on this north side, who is trying to get Tech 3 up. Tech 2 up and running. All of those pawns that Kells sent down died very quickly, as we see there. Needs more units than that. Some rocket bots or something along those lines. Meanwhile, as we look elsewhere, Kioma did a very good job at holding that position in the middle. Surprisingly, though, there's not much there, and Rumcola has a substantial amount of units that could easily push him out of that position. We've also got artillery coming in from Tezrin here as well. But with the T2 tanks here starting to make their appearance, fortunately, no player really reacting too much to this. Nice pink attack to the north here, clearing off some of the aggression and trying to close off Rakoa and completely kick them out of the game. If they lose that factory, that's it, they've got nothing left. Whilst Ragnar is still in a very interesting spot of having 2 sides of the map here. About to have some Tech 2 tanks to approach him, but he should be able to degun that with not too much problems. Meanwhile, Flash in the water, walking his comm towards the enemy base, completely uncontested at the moment. Having a lot of units, good use of resbots here to claim the wreckage. And Malady in a very tough spot right now, about to be surrounded by units with nothing really to support him. No player to support him either. He is basically holding the entire north side of the map all on his own. And we see Rakoa basically out of the game entirely now. All he has is 1 engineer, which is trying to rebuild, but it's not going to be able to do too much. Malady with some Tech 2 units though, the balls there, so maybe he had to help hold off for now, but the artillery spam is just going to continue to come in, and he has no units to push out that. We see units coming down from the north. Malady is probably not going to be able to hold this for much longer, and he knows that. And is about to be surrounded. D-guns coming out from Malady. Centurion taking out all of the wind. D-gun gets another 2 tanks. Malady in a very, very iffy spot here. Trying to force out the beamer. 21 health. 10 health. Manages to get the Centurion dead. Malady with 400 health remaining gets pushed back from the front line, and the north side of the map, it has fallen, with the exception of Kells in the mountains of the north. Meanwhile, Flash doing the same thing here, pushing into the enemy base with his comm. Meanwhile, holding the middle, very well here. I would like to see Rumcola would have made a push with all of his units. Instead, he waited too long, and Kimura got Tech 2 in the middle and pushed him off. So, south side has been won by blue team. North side has been won by the red team. Now, the question will be, who can win, north or south? Flash taking a lot of damage here. I don't think he's going to be able to get as much of an eco damage as Ragnar did. Nice D-guns going on. Flash at 23% health though. Does not want to sacrifice his commander in a position that's not actually going to do much. 5%, 1%. Flash dead. He does take out all of the energy production of the yellow player, which is Dave, who has already lost his commander. Dave without a factory at this point as well, but does have a Tech 2 engineer. Flash's units though are pushing into that location, so it's only going to be a matter of time until that's gone. Skurish trying to assist holding that front line by sending his units down, but not going to do much because he is losing his own front line. Now, if we zoom out here, we see Kel's trying to push Ragnar out of his position here. Good choice of units. Hounds will get additional range benefits from being up high. Doesn't have quite enough yet really to make that big of a difference. I don't think he even really has vision. Oh, he has some radar coverage. Yeah, he's got radar a bit higher up. Okay. And we see some seaplane gunships coming in. Nice. They will actually make short work of Ragnar's comm. So we see them not focusing the commander, getting the Tech 2 factory down first. Ragnar manages to get some reclaim on it though. Ragnar's comm will die here. Yep, but not really too big a deal for him at this point. He is, I mean, the base that they've recaptured was an enemy base to begin with, and Ragnar still has his entire starting area, and he is starting to get his first advanced fusion up and running. Meanwhile, Kel has not really done much up north here. He's managed to hold it at least, but still, any more than that is a no-go. Malady trying to hold on. Mori in a very bad position now, as we see Ragnar's hounds coming down from above. Tesrin is starting to build stuff as well to counter Mori's position. The Tech 2 engineers that Kimura had pushing forward are about to get ambushed, and does lose the Tech 2. Kimura trying to hide in the field of beamers, sorry, that have been built. He may get back. It looks like he's going to be able to run back in time, maybe. Meanwhile, at the south, we see another comm go from Kimura's push, which is nice. I believe that was Skurish's commander, and this attack now will probably be enough to, well, maybe knock out Skurish. The lightning tanks from Trash Panda here, if they go that direction, will completely take him out of the game. And it's looking a bit iffy for the red team. They haven't really scaled up as much. Trash Panda doing a great job at economying here. Lots of energy converters. Also getting his first advanced fusion reactor up and running. Malady also doing a great job. Seaplane gunships working their way through these units quite efficiently. And as we zoom out here, we see the hounds starting to make their work in Ragnar's base. But with no air support, they're going to get mopped up very quickly. Meanwhile, lightning tanks doing their job, absolutely destroying Tesrin's base. The hounds can't keep up. Little did they know they also have a very tiny air defense gun on them, and can do a pretty decent job. You see Flash's pawns here, getting some kills on turrets as well. These will not get energy converter. Oh, it does get a batch of energy. 2 batches of energy converters. Very nice. And yeah, the south side of the map is lost. All relies now on can Ragnar and Tezrin and Emiri turn this around for the red team. They had control substantially of the map. And the bottom team, the blue team, have managed to force through the bottom side of the enemy side of their map. That doesn't really make much sense, does it? They've managed to take the south side of the map quite efficiently. And the red side hasn't really done much since they completely pushed out the north players. We need to see some movement. Manatee just producing a shed ton of ticks, followed by some sharpshooters. Ticks will provide vision for the sharpshooters. Also, the blue team not retaking the start position here. I would have thought maybe with some air engineers, which they do have, could have been gifted to one of their players to like try and rebuild, but nothing yet. Those seaplane gunships getting mopped up by some Tech 2 and Tech 1 fighters. There's also a substantial amount of normal gunships there as well, coming out from Izyard. So as I was about to scroll out and look at the stats, but we see a nice push here, combined push of tanks, Jaguars and Beans. Maladee's commander may be about to be spotted here. Do they see him? No, they don't. Now they do. They know his commander is there. Is Maladee going to be able to get out of there alive? The force of tanks amassing just in front, deciding to pull back. Very interesting. Now, why they would pull back there when they have the advantage, I don't know. But I guess they don't know that they necessarily have the advantage. Maladee's force is predominantly just ticks. So, it looks like he's got a lot of units there, but actually they're just all ticks. Meanwhile, elsewhere we have a nice position from Rumcola with these hounds, keeping them out of range of the enemy units and just bombing them from above. Will be interesting to see how McDonough is going to contribute any more than just these seaplane gunship, but he does seem to be the only air player on their team, so if he can outplay the Tech 2 air, then it will have been worth it in the end. Meanwhile, Ragnar has nothing really to deal with the units that are slowly hitting him from above, but what these hounds are even shooting at, I don't quite know. Interesting that he can't actually see the units below. He needs a radar. Is that... yeah, his issue is he has no radar. You need a radar bot or a radar jammer bot here to kind of stop this, because you can't see and that's your problem. Hounds with no like support, not going to do much. Also, the tick swarm is devouring the hounds here. They're not going to be able to do much against all of those ticks, as we see the hounds get absolutely destroyed. That's going to hurt Kells quite a bit. There was pretty much all of his forces getting nommed here by the ticks and the gunships, as the swarm of ticks now moves towards Kells and his last remaining bastion of hope on the North Mountain. There's not going to be anywhere near enough air defense here to stop the onslaught of gunships that are coming his way, and it won't be too much longer before the swarm has taken this North Mountain, leaving Kells with not much. They did a good job of holding this North Hill versus Ragnar for a while, but very, very simple mistake not to include the radar jammers and the radar with the units on the north, with the hounds, and you paid the price for it. He does manage to get an air defense unit out but not going to do much. Managed to take out a gunship. Kel's about to lose this position here, I believe. He's not going to last much longer in there, so I'm about to see Kel's get wiped up. Malady's comm also just gets caught out there and goes boom as well. Meanwhile, Flash is losing his front line there. He seems to have lost all of his units. He's switching out to welders and sharpshooters as well. Meanwhile, McDonagh needs to be pumping out some fighters and sending them north. Kells is about to go up in smoke with his fusion. And there is Kells out the game as well. The entire north side of Green Team is dead. Fighters on their way now, but it'll take way too long to get there. And that will be the end of the north side of this team. Malady falling soon as well. Tech 3 no on the field from Trash Panda. Maybe this will be enough to change the course of battle. Who knows? We'll have to find out. Meanwhile, this blue player in the middle managing still to hold on to the middle max point. It's an amazing job being able to hold on to there when completely surrounded from above. Huge bomber run coming in now. Say goodbye to your economy, Malady, as you are about to get bombed. And the bombs are released on the advanced fusion. Wasn't built yet though. Didn't really cause any chain reaction that he was expecting. Bombers now flying over the advanced fusion of Kioma. Gets the fusion, does not get the advanced fusion. Moving on. They're going to move on? Nope, they are actually getting taken out. Black doing a great job at taking them out. Meanwhile, we see the Tech 3 wall start to appear, doing a great job at holding off just the tick spam at the moment now. They need to be able to deal with these bulls. Now, I'm personally not a fan of Marauders. They don't actually do that well. But we are seeing a number advantage here versus all the bulls, so we'll see how well they do. We can see how much damage they're taking. Not a single bull has died, yet we've lost one Marauder. Two of the Marauders are very low health, whereas only two bulls are low health. And there we go, another Marauder dead, still not a single bull destroyed. So, I don't know, I don't think they're great. 4,000 health as opposed to the 4,000 health of a bull. Like, yeah. Meanwhile, the swarm of ticks and gunships going to the north here. Just clearing out, making sure nothing's up there. I don't believe they can path down. No, they can't, thankfully. Now, Malady getting pushed even further back. A forward coming great use right now, killing all of this bits and bobs off. Meanwhile, on the south side, we see Flash pushing in with the classic welder sniper bot meta. We see some Razorbacks coming out from Tabesh. Would be very useful on Malady's front here, rather than going to the middle, which is not really having anything happen to it. Oh, the air coming in, gunships and bombers. Bombers going into Trash Panda, about to hit the Metal Maker economy. I believe this is going to be the end. Although Trash Panda does not lose the advanced fusions, but Malady's economy is going up in smoke to all of these gunships. Donut being very slow to react here. He's got a bunch of fighters not doing anything with them. You need to send them north to help your teammate. Air defense from Trash Panda will do a fairly decent job at knocking them down, but not before the advanced fusion goes up and Trash Panda is out. And now it's all or nothing on the bottom. Flash needs to play it out here and do some big damage to bring this back for the blue team, but don't see this doing very well here. suicide comm here, maybe to make a hole. But the tick swarm from Ragnar coming through, nothing can stop the onslaught of the ticks. We'll easily get all of the economy here. Get through, and all they need to do is kill the advanced energy converter, and that is it. There we go. Miner did get killed, making a hole, as well as the balls come tumbling down the hill into what is left of Malady. A bit late to be building the tech free there from Kioma. And there's not much really the blue team can do now. Flash, unfortunately, not able to do much. McDonagh not able to deal with air at all. Very, very slow at reacting, and that basically got 3 of his teammates killed. With air, patrolling them is a lot more useful, so that you can make sure that they're, you know, covering your teammates. If you just leave them at the bottom side of the map, then you're just leaving your rest of your team open to air attacks, and that is exactly what happened. And because of that, Malady lost his economy, Chaos lost his economy, and yeah, unfortunately, I believe this is the end of days for the green team, or the blue team rather, as that Malady's economy getting mopped up here by bulls. Doesn't matter if you've got tech free, they ain't gotta stop these bulls. Meanwhile, at the same time, we see the Fiends in the light blue base here from Kioma. The massive bomber swarm is coming in from Ragnar. There is not enough fighters here to deal with that, as we see all of those seaplane gun fighters getting mopped up instantly. And Malady is now completely out of the game. Bombers coming in on the advanced, and Kioma is now basically out of the game with no factory, nothing. Bombers coming in again to trash Panda, but he has nothing left either. Besh now, McDonagh and Flash, the only ones left alive on the blue team. But with them being pushed in from every direction, I don't see this lasting much longer. Marauders actually getting killed by ticks here, which is quite funny. They will not be able to hold off for much longer, I believe. So what could they have done different? Well, Kel's on the north. He had radar bot with his hounds. Could have made a substantial difference there, but he didn't, and that cost him a lot on that north side. He also kind of just abandoned his own first base, and because of that, GG. Ragnar did a surprisingly great comm drop and managed to degun 2 entire bases. Flash now going to be losing his forces here to air, and the Razorbacks coming in. Flash did a good job. He took middle. He managed to do a very interesting geolocation there. And yeah, but they didn't really have an air player. Because they didn't really have an air player on the right side, the air was just able to dominate. Ragnar's bomber runs and the gunships in from Iziard as well. Great job. We're about to see some seaplane gunships coming in here, but I think they'll get mopped up fairly quickly before they get too much damage done. With the amount of economy that Ragnar's got, he can just pump out as many fighters as he wants and mop it up fairly quickly, as we see here. Yeah, all the fighters are coming back, and they'll be dead super quick. But yeah, I don't see the light-coloured team coming back from this at all. I think it's pretty much game over for them. So what do you think the blue team could have done? What could they have done different that would have changed the course of this battle? I think, personally, McDonagh could have maybe gone more in the way of fighters. Seaplane gunships are fine, but they're going to lose versus Tech 2 Air, and with 2 Tech 2 Air players on the other side, It was only a matter of time until you lost the air battle. The Marauders, okay choice, but they're not really going to do much. Maybe some fours would have done better. They're going to be useful at pushing through the enemy, and also their jumping cannons are going to deal very well with all the ticks that will be sent their way. They do cost a lot more though, so you know, rather than having 9 Marauders, you'd have 1 Marauder, 1 4 rather. But I don't know, I feel like that might have been a bit better of a trade anyway. Obviously, Tabesh here basically given up at this point. Just trying to get some units out and hope for the best. But I don't see them being able to deal with the onslaught of hounds from Mumcola here. Getting closer to use the other gun as before. Not the 4, sorry, the Titan. We see more ticks from Ragnar here, managing to get through into some of the economy of Flash. But yeah, not much being able to do. So this map, very interesting. For those that haven't seen it before, we changed the camera here to a more flatter angle. You can see the different kind of height elevations here on this map. Makes it very, very interesting map to play. And yeah, I suggest you give it a shot. There is a newer version of it now as well, where there's actually like a base at the top, I believe. So I played that yesterday on stream. And as we see Flash and the rest of the blue team get mopped up here, we'll just kind of play this out. I don't see them lasting too much longer. What could they do to maybe kind of change this? Donut maybe could have some amphibious units push through the bottom water area here and maybe try and get some of this eco. Just getting along the bottom here, trying to take out as much eco, going around the back and do as much damage as possible. But the main issue here is the powerhouses that are Ragnar and Emir on this north side are just completely dominating. They're dominating the air and they're dominating the ground. Nothing can stop them at all. I mean, Tech Freeze are just walking into Flash's base at this point. D-Gun's coming out from McDonut as he just D-guns his entire base. Flash uses loads of his construction turrets there as well. So you see the wave of ticks inbound from Ragnar. Then McDonut going, atomic bombers here. Not going to do anything as the team on the right resigns. And we see the lovely explosions at the end of the game here. So I hope this was a fun one for you guys to watch. A nice interesting place from Ragnar at the beginning. And yeah, thank you all for coming. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more casts and tutorials for Bar. And I'll see you guys next time.